Whenever I think about the sound of my own voice, I think about an old antique record store.
Got the scratches in it.
Yes,
I hear
that's
it.
literally what I think of when I think of my voice. I'm a small town country girl who grew up in the church and just loves to sing. I think one thing that I love about myself would be my gift, would be my voice. I've grown to love it. So yeah,
You've grown to love it.
I've grown to love it.
What does that
Yes.
mean? Because you got your voice.
So,
Why did you
you
love
know,
it?
this was a sound that I had to get used to because before, like prior to 3 years ago, it was completely different. But then something happened with my chords to where my sound completely changed. And at first I didn't really like it. I was like, I don't like the rasp. I don't like the lower notes. But now I've literally grown to love it. I think it sort of sets me apart.
I know it really does. You got a different kind of voice. Like, when did you know you had one? Because okay, so you got to take us on a journey about finding this voice of yours, because you said something happened. I also have a friend of mine who's like, she had a surgery, a vocal surgery, and her voice changed in this amazing way. So like, tell me, how did we get here?
So, I mean, I've pretty much been singing my entire life. Like, there's literally a video of me at a musical at my dad's church, and I'm up there singing like this quartet song when I'm 5 years old. So I come from a somewhat musical background. My both of my parents sing, and a few people on my mom's side of the family sing. So growing up, I always sang at my dad's church. And I also sang in school. I did choir, which was mostly classical. I went to a university and my major was vocal performing. I didn't stay very long, but from there, I got back into singing. I started landing worship positions at other churches, and I stepped out and like finally started getting into the secular world. Once I realized that, I love God. I love to sing about God, but I don't think I'm that churchy when it comes to singing. So there was like a whole nother side that I wanted to explore and bring people in to still be able to want to know about the light that keeps me happy, even when I'm singing love songs.
Right.
So
Is
yeah,
your church trained?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
difference. I'm always curious about the difference between folks that come from church versus other singers. There's always something a little bit more sturdy, or studied, or something. There's just something different about church trained voices, I think.
I think what I've noticed is when you think of church singers, you think of that powerhouse, because growing up, that's what we were always used to hearing in church. We would hear the older church mothers singing the hymns, and they had these powerful voices with this powerful vibrato. And that's kind of how we trained our voices to sound. So yeah, I think that's probably the difference between a church singer and someone who didn't necessarily grow up in the church and they're just secular. I think that's where that comes from.
Well, when did you just start like playing with your voice to see like the kind of things that you could do?
I'd say high school, because high school is where I started taking classical music seriously. So in high school, I started exploring with that area of my voice. From there, I started singing in church choirs. I got back into church choirs, and that's actually what caused me to form a polyp on my cords. I was literally singing in like 5 services a day. And it was just a lot of bad singing, like a lot of squalling and hollering and all of that stuff that the church people love.
Yeah, you had
So,
some wear and tear.
Yes, definitely.
Wow, okay. So then you started playing with your voice a little bit and figuring out things that you could actually do. Do you remember some of the things that you would do when you were just playing around?
I would always I'm big on phrasing. Where most people are big on runs, I'm big on phrasing. I like to experiment with ways to like tell a story with a line versus just doing runs with a line. Also, I really like to explore the lower notes that I didn't have before that I got over time. I loved experimenting with those because
Well,
that meant I
I
could
need
sing
to hear
better.
it, Kim. You can't be out here talking about it. I want to hear it.
So let's see. Like for instance, when I do crazy. So most people would say, I remember when I lost my mind. And there was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions had an echo in so much space. So what I would do, I would try to, just bring the line alive a little bit. So I would say something like, even your emotions had an echo. Oh, oh. I try to do like a little echo or something like that to just kind of,
Just
bring
be
it to life a
entertaining.
little bit.
Giving them a little something to play with.
A little twang.
Giving them a little something to play with. Well, how would you describe your own voice if you could put into words what you sound like?
Whenever I think about the sound of my own voice, I think about an old antique record store.
Got the scratches in it.
Yes. That's literally what I think of when I think of my voice.
Oh,
it's
that's
just an
nice.
old antique record store.
Yes, it does. It gives us record honey. Well, what do you want to do musically? Because I think that a lot of the times people assume that everybody that can sing just wants to be an artist, but there's also so many ways to sing.
Yeah.
So what ways are you trying to explore yourself, your voice in a career?
So I definitely want to get into stage plays. I want to give that a try. Aside from just singing, I also write. So I want to try my hand at potentially writing songs for other artists. I would love to do something like that.
Yeah, with the way that you think of phrasing, I think that's also something that helps with songwriting, right?
Yeah,
That's
it
dope.
really does.
I would love to know or hear what type of musical you trying to get into, Kim. I know you be practicing all the time, but what type of like Broadway would you be giving?
So definitely Color Purple or Dreamgirls. That Dreamgirls was my favorite movie. You could not tell me I wasn't Jennifer Hudson back in the day. Like if Jennifer,
I am Effie, she is me, I am her.
Yes.
So you would want to give it to us like that?
I would.
Because those are some singing musicals.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Those are two of my favorites. I would want to be
which one can we get a taste of? What song do you love to sing from those?
Let's see. Let's see. What's my favorite? Well, my favorite scene from Dreamgirls is the argument scene, the one where they're like, Curtis was supposed to love me, so I can't do that one. So we'll do and I am telling you, I'm not going. You're the best man I'll ever know. There's no way I can ever go. Darling, there's no way. No, 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 no way I'm living without you. I'm not living without you. I don't wanna be free. I'm staying, and you're gonna love me. Oh, you're gonna love me.
You know, you get all the jobs. Hire Kim Cruse for everything.
Thank you.
Give her the roles. Listen, how are we able to support you in your dreams? What's next on your list of things to do, even in this panoramic?
So right now I'm in the process of working on my EP.
Okay.
Yay. Yes, I'm so excited. Like,
girl,
it's been a long time coming, but it's finally that time, and I'm just so excited about what we're working on and creating. Aside from that, I've gotten into doing some little merch here and there on my website, kimcruseofficial.com. And yeah, you guys can definitely support me on the compilation album with Terrell, which is called An Invitation to the Cookout. Yeah. I have, I'd say, 4 different songs, but there are a few different versions of some of those songs. So yeah, in total, I'd say about 7 songs on those 2 albums. So yeah, that's how you can support all things Kim Cruse.
Girl, we is waiting on this EP. We need it. We need
I'm so
that voice
ready. Right?
Give us all the things, more covers. We crave it.
Really? I'm glad. Like, I really
you gotta give it. You gotta bring it.
So good.
Thank you so much, sis. I love meeting you.
I loved meeting you too. Thank you.
Listen, anytime I can help amplify your voice, I'm here for it. You are such a beautiful talent. Please don't stop.
Thank you so much.
Like ever.
I'll keep going.
Like ever.
It's only the beginning.
Yes, queen.